Hello, beautiful bookworms! My name is Katarina, and today we have a new video. Welcome to my channel, which probably thought it was dead, but it's not. I am here, I am back, and I'm already showing you stuff that I shouldn't be. So, hey guys, I'm back, hopefully. I'm not going to post every week. I am not able to do so. However, I do believe that I will be able to do some book videos or other videos for you guys for this channel. So I really want to thank you guys' support and for staying with me through all of the year that I gave basically no news. So with that in mind, I would like to do some wrap of 2024 since we weren't together. And for that reason, I would like to do a top 5 of the mangas that I've read. I have famously not read a lot in 2024. Books, manga, comics, I have not read a lot of anything, but I do have an amount of manga that is considerable and that allowed me to pick up 5 that I thought were the best that I read. So they might not be all published in 2024, even though I think the majority of them is, if not, well, I don't know. Or not, actually. Or not. But with that out of the way, it's the 5 books or 5 mangas that I appreciated the most in 2024. So the first one is going to be Spy Family Volume 8. I have read another volume of Spy Family, I think it was just number 7, but number 8 won. I loved it the most. I love this series, you already know, it's one of my favorite current actual series. Why is this getting so extremely dark? Can you guys see me? Okay, so I don't know what happened to the lighting. Let's just presume that my battery is going to die, but hopefully you can still see me. So, what I was saying is I really enjoyed Spy Family Volume 8. This one has a cliffhanger, and I just haven't picked up Volume 9 because I haven't been able to actually read because I work all day. I was doing my PhD, I finished my PhD, I got a full-time job, and I didn't have any moments to actually pick it up. And when I did, I was so fucking tired that I didn't want to read. So that's the main reason why I didn't, because this cliffhanger, my god, stuff is happening with the family, secrets could be revealed or not, and this is so fun. It's fun, it's epic, it's sad sometimes, it's beautiful. So yeah, number 5. At number 4, and this is ranked by the way, so it's really number 4. At the number 4 best manga that I've read is Witch Hat Atelier Volume 11. You guys know that I am obsessed with Witch Hat Atelier. I actually do believe that I filmed something about Witch Hat Atelier, but I don't know, I haven't been to the channel in a while. Can you see that I haven't been in the channel in a while? But apart from that, Witch Hat Atelier is also one of my favorite series, which is a trend apparently, and for good reason, for my favorites of 2024. And I really love this one. It was about a beautiful competition of magic and where people would show like what they could do in the city, and it was so filled with light when this series is actually taking a turn for the darker side. Pun not intended. So it was just hopeful, beautiful, and I was in a state of mind in 2024 where I just needed something to be beautiful. You know what I mean? To be hopeful, to see the light and stuff. And so for me, it was just beautiful. And the art style of this is wow. I just want to tattoo it in my forehead, which I'm not going to do because I have a real job. But apart from that, and because I don't believe that it would be pretty in my face. But apart from that, yes, perfection. I loved it. 4th place. Up on 3rd place is a little bit of a strange choice. Not really, if you know me and you've been with me through these years, but it's a little bit of a controversial choice, and my 2nd place as well. But the 3rd place is going to go to Boys Abyss Volume 2. This is a very trigger-inducing story. This has to do with abuse, has to do with suicide, it has to do with physical and mental problems and relationships. Not good relationships. So if you have any triggers of this regard, also with bullying as well, if you have some triggers about this, you should not be reading Boys Abyss. You have to be in a state of mind that you're either welcoming the darkness but not to the point of hurting you, or just, happy, and the darkness will scar you but not hurt you. That's the case with Boys Abyss. I do love it. The art style of it is incredible, amazing. Would I like for this to be in the real life? No. So I'm taking this as a story, and sometimes I'm very concerned about the stories that are put in the world, but I think that this one has a purpose. I would like to see it through the end, mainly because I am now attached to the characters and want to know what's going to happen. If I agree with a lot of things that are in here, no, not at all. But that is not preventing me from really enjoying it. And the perspective of nostalgia, of how to deal with yourself and how to get to know yourself, is kind of important to me. It's a big deal to me. As many of you probably know, I work in the area of psychology and neuropsychology. So all of these kinds of contents are stuff that I come across, or I have come across. And yeah, it's very intriguing. I give you that. And it's very beautiful in a very sad way, which is also one of the problems, because it kind of portrays sadness as something beautiful and mental health issues as something painfully beautiful, if you know what I mean. So I don't like it for that reason. I like it because it depicts them, and it kind of looks like a warning sign for you to not fall into these patterns. But I digress. I really enjoyed it. It was my third favorite of the year. And now for the top 2 of the year. So for these 2, I had to think a lot. I am absolutely in love with both of them. The art style, the story, and all around the series. So these 2 are going to be series. I read these series in 2024, and I cannot separate a volume from the series because I believe it should be consumed together. They're trilogies, which already narrows down the possibility to what fucking manga it is a lot, because as you know, mangas do tend to have a lot of volumes. And it was a fight within me to know which one I would put in first place and which one I would put in second. But I eventually decided for the reason that I'm going to let you know. So the runner-up to my favorite series has to be the Horizon trilogy, which has 1, 2, and 3 books. The Horizon is not actually a manga, it's a manhwa, which means it's Korean, and it was, I believe, a webtoon first before it became printed and an actual manga. I'm not entirely sure. But the Horizon is, and this is the reason why it's in my second place, is one of the most difficult, horrifying, but also hopeful things that I've read in a while. Like in all of the media that I've read, physical books, digital books, mangas, comics, it's this one. And I just didn't put it as my first one because it hurt me when I read it, which I know that it's the point of this. This is basically a story about 2 war orphans and how they are dwelling with all of the traumas that their life implies from the beginning, and how they are trying to keep moving forward, which is the basic premise of the Horizon. Is if you keep moving forward, you will eventually reach somewhere and you'll be able to cross whatever it is, the trauma that you're going through. But you'll collect more traumas along the way, which is not fun. This one I do not recommend to everyone. I recommend to people that are able to deal with an intense amount of pain. People... It's hard for me to say this because, well, I do believe that if you're empathetic people, an empathetic person, I'm sorry, an empathic person, an empathetic, what? I don't know how to talk anymore. I haven't filmed, so I don't know how to talk anymore. But as I was saying, if you have some degree of empathy to other human beings, this is a different experience for you than if you don't give a fuck about other people. The context of this has to do with war refugees and ethnical cleansings. And because of what was happening during 2024 and sadly still in 2025 with Gaza and other places that were being bombed and completely surrounded by death and pain, and to have your main characters be two really small children, it devastates you to a point that you cannot be, and I think that that's the purpose of the novel, you cannot be indifferent to the suffering that's going around them, and it just eventually bleeds into you. So read this if you're okay, and not when you have to spend a lot of emotional energy, because it will drain you and you'll need to rest. I do, however, am one of the firm believers that everything that is here, it's not exploitative, it is traumatic, it has a lot of trigger warnings. I'm not even going to, if you want to know them, comment down below and I'll tell you, because some of them are spoilers. But it's just, if you're not okay with yourself, or if you're not okay with the pain of others, do not. I mean, I do not recommend. I absolutely love it though. The art style is incredible. And I am a firm believer that the entirety of the journey of the trilogy to reach to the end was completely worth it. When you reach the end, there's something in you that has been devastated, that has reached the full pit of the abyss, and then it comes slowly back up. And I was happy for it, and I was thankful for it. And it's a sort of a reflection of how trauma affects you at any point of life, and how it remains with you even though you believe you've healed. And for that alone, it is a very special journey, and something that I loved seeing translated on paper and on physical. Yeah, but it's not my first one because it left me drained completely, and I'm at a point of my life where I can go through that, but I have to be very careful to the things that drain me, because I don't have the luxury of being drained anymore. And so, for my first pick, I pick a trilogy that is also very traumatic in very different ways of the horizon, less so, obviously, but that has a beautiful story, and it has a lot of hope, a lot of fighting, a lot of drama, but to a point where you think shit is going to go down, this is not going to be happy. And I'm not going to spoil you if the ending is happy or not. Actually, I don't even know if I was happy with the ending or not. I think so, but it's such an open ending that really you have to read and see for yourself. But I'm talking, of course, about Soloist in a Cage. This trilogy was a journey. The art style of this is purely one of the most beautiful forms of art style that I've ever seen, ever in my life. It's incredible. It's so realistic, and at the same time, the shadow game and the characters game, all of them seem alive. All of them seem to have a reason. All of them seem to have traits, specific traits. All of them seem to be people, and people that you're following the story of. There's a lot of love, there's a lot of death, there's a lot of pain, but there's also a lot of hope, a lot of remembering, and a lot of familial bonds, sometimes not with your family, which are completely amazing. Our main character is this little girl. She and this baby, which is her brother, live in this city that is basically a prison city, that is almost a country, because a lot of the worst criminals of the world are left there, and so they start to procreate and they create families, and now that's a prison city, or a prison almost country, let's just say. And the guards just want to keep them in. So inside, they don't give a shit about what they're doing, and they're killing people and killing each other, and just there's violence and fear all around. And she tries to escape since they don't have their parents anymore, and she's able to do so, but her baby brother falls on the inside, and she falls on the outside of the wall. And so it's her journey back to him to actually make sure if he's alive or not, because she doesn't have the fucking clue if he's alive or not. And it's such beautiful, like, all of her trauma of being a survivor and not being sure if her brother was surviving and in what condition, because there was a lot of violence and anger and gangs in there. And if he was dead, what was her meaning in life, because she lost her parents very young, and she was supposed to be caretaker of her brother, and it's beautiful. The journey to go back home, you know, finding or not finding her brother, and what it means to her to develop all of this journey back to a place that was fear, that was anger, that was death, and inside of her, things that she had to do to get there and to live there. How does she deal with that guilt? And it's amazing. I absolutely loved it. And if you're going to read any of these, I recommend to read Solace in a Cage. It's very short. It's only 3 volumes. It's a finished story. And it was great. So yeah, guys, these were the 5 mangas / series that I've enjoyed the most in 2024. Comment down below and let me know if you guys have read any of these, if you loved any of these, or if you're going to read any of these because I recommend it. I don't want to presume that you do, but it will be fun to know. So that's going to be all for today. If you like this video, leave a link or a like or subscribe. A link? Oh my god. Forget it. Don't leave a link. And that's going to be all for today. So happy readings to you all. Bye bye.